What's going on, cool world? Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Anthony Cumberbatch, aka Little Man in the Big City, Casanova at your service. And today I will teach you my 5 tips on how to score a great Airbnb. Let's go.
My name is Anthony, and I live in a big city.
Okay, so you've put in for that vacation time, you've bought the ticket already, now you want a place to stay. What do I recommend? I recommend Airbnb. And no, I'm not getting paid for this. This is not an advertisement. This is how I travel. This is how I could afford to travel and get to travel, and it's a great experience. For those of you who don't know what Airbnb is a home rental service where you travel from city to city, you rent people's homes or rent a room in someone's home. It's great. I love it. I've been using it for the last few years and it's been working out great. So I'm going to give you those 5 tips. 5 tips on how to score a great Airbnb. Tip number 1. Location on where you pick your Airbnb, location on the neighborhood or what you're looking for on that trip is very important. It's a term that's used in real estate all the time, and it is a term that applies to home rental services. One of the things that I like to do specifically, I like to stay in a place where it's right off the beaten path, not too busy, not touristy central. And if that's your thing, that's great. So location is very important. Once you figure that out, here goes tip number 2 now. Tip number 2, your budget. Now, if you're looking for something very fancy, extra nice, chic, it's gonna be a little pricey. You could find great stuff for a reasonable price, especially in Airbnb, especially different cities. You could find great stuff for a reasonable price. I would recommend sticking to your budget. Stick to your budget. I could recall there've been times when I said, you know what, I gotta hurry up and book. Before you know it, something within my budget opens up way better than I expected. With all the amenities that I want. Stick to your budget. Tip number 3. You find a couple places that you like. You're like, oh, that works, and that works too. My next tip to you is read the reviews. You cannot go wrong when you read the reviews. How many reviews to look for? I always tell friends and family and people to look for at least 8 reviews. 8 reviews. Always remember that your take on something is going to be different from someone else's take on something. Your taste in this is going to be different from someone else's taste in this. But you would have a general consensus of what the facility is like, what the apartment is like. So read the reviews. My 4th tip for scoring a great Airbnb. You've already chose your location. You've set your budget. You've narrowed down your search into about 2 or 3 different places that you would like to stay. Now, I would recommend that if you have any other questions that none of the reviews that you've read answered, message the host. That's one of the best ways to get to know the place that you're staying, who owns this apartment or who manages the apartment. Message the host, and if you have any questions that you don't see in the reviews, they will be able to answer it for you. They'll be able to answer them for you. Don't be afraid to message them. And my 5th and final tip, do everything within the app. Play it safe, do everything within the website. You log in, you message a person. If someone asks you for payment outside of the website, be nice and kind and polite about it. And say, you know what, I'm sorry, but I do not feel comfortable with, doing something outside of the website. That way, you track everything and they track everything. Follow those 5 tips and I promise you, you would be great. Remember, the 5 tips are: choose your location, set your budget, read the reviews, don't be afraid to message your host, do everything within the app. Once you follow those 5, I promise you, you'll always have a great time. Also, let me know if you have any questions. What are your concerns? What are your tips? If you're a regular Airbnb rent all the time, what are your tips to follow? Another bonus tip that I would recommend to you, do your research. Airbnb, though it's my favorite, it might not be your favorite. There's tons of other home rental websites. Do your research. Don't be afraid to compare. I like Airbnb because it's very safe. I like Airbnb because I've never had a problem with them. I've never had a problem with them. If there was any concerns that I've ever had, any questions I've ever had, I've reached out to them and they were on it like that. They take care of their people from start to end. Their experience might be different from my experience. Those are my 5 tips that has helped me out through and through. I recommend them to you. If you have any other tips, if you have any experience, let me know your Airbnb experience. Let me know what you've done or what you've been through or what other home rental services that you've used or what I should try. Yeah, I would love to hear from you. Let me know. I'm about to head out, go explore more of the city. And meanwhile, subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Let me know your thoughts.